and girls in astronomy. My name is Amelia Ortiz-Gil, and I am an astronomer at the Astronomical Observatory of the University of Valencia in Spain. I work mainly on the topics of astronomy, outreach, and education. First, for today's meeting, I would like to ask the participants to write down their questions in the comments window of the platforms that we are streaming, where we are streaming this event, YouTube and Facebook. Please remember that there will be a draw for prizes to all who send their questions. So our guest today is Ilhuiyolitzin Villicana Pedraza, or Jolly for short, who defines herself as a motivated teacher and astronomy communicator who focuses on space science and astronomy outreach. She received a PhD from the Autonomous University of Madrid in Spain and the Max Planck Institute for Radio Astronomy in Germany. Since returning to the United States, she has been teaching at New Mexico State University. Her main topic of research is molecules in space and AGNs, but most of her work in the last years has been dedicated to astronomy education. She's a member of the Executive Committee Working Group on Astronomy for Equity and Inclusion of the International Astronomical Union, working with the Motor Impairments Group. She is an SSGPL NASA ambassador and a mentor for the US-Mexico Leaders Network. In 2022, she was invited to participate in the United Nations for Women and Girls Motivation Program. So welcome, Jolly. And it's a pleasure to be here with you today. And well, I think you wanted to show us your presentation and talk to us a little bit about your professional trajectory and the barriers that you have overcome, and yeah, anything related to your career and things that you find that can be useful for our women and girls who might be interested in pursuing a career in astronomy. Okay. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Amelia. Thank you a lot. Then, yes, well, hello, everyone. Thanks for being here with me. As you can see, I am, I don't know, young. And then, yes, the idea is that you can do everything that you want if you have a lot of energy. And then, well, I did a small presentation. Well, but first, well, Amelia already told everything. I work for the New Mexico State University for the college. I am a member of the IAU. Also, I am ambassador for the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. And well, all the activities that I did, that I do for this year is dedicated to my mom, my uncle, and my father-in-law, that all of them died in the last 2 months. So why astronomy and why choose it as a career? Well, first I wonder what the stars were. You know, I always, every night I observe the sky. And then I always ask it. And I wanted to know how the stars and planets work. Here the point is, in my family, I have a history of amateur astronomers since my grandfather and the father of my grandfather, but it was not enough for me. So the amateur books for me were not enough to convince me. I always say, yes, okay, the books say that, but how they know? How I need to prove it, you know, since I was a kid, since I have 5 years old, I was in astronomical group for kids. So because I wanted to know everything. And recently my wish to know, my wish to go to the space increased. So my background, well, as Amelia told, I did a bachelor in physics in the Sonora University. My thesis and presentation for the dissertation, well, all the preparation for the thesis was carried directly in the INAOE, the Astrophysical Institute, Institute for Astrophysical and Optical and Electronic in Mexico. It was about multi-frequency studies of AGNs using trying to think what will observe the Fermi Observatory. And then for this, I use optical observations using the observatory, the Guillermo R. Observatory in Sonora. During my bachelor, I was named in the area, the astronomy area, in the university, Sparkle, because I was very hyperactive. You know, I wanted to participate in everything. So yes, I was the sparkle of the university of the astronomy in my university. Also, I was support astronomer in 27 and 20 until 29 as part of my bachelor, and then I did my social service in Mexico directly with the university that I was in Sonora and the University of Stanford. And then, just like Amelia said, I did a master in astrophysics. It was an inter-university master between the Autónoma of Madrid and Complutense. And I received a diploma with double logo, okay. Then I was working again with other AGN. For my PhD, I was in the Autónoma of Madrid, and also I did some months in the Max Planck Institute for Radio Astronomy in Germany. So I received the international PhD, and I did some other research in the European Southern Observatory. And my work was focused in the molecular spectroscopy of AGNs, starbursts, and ULIs. My first contribution was the discovery of the prebiotic molecule, HNCH+, predicted decades earlier. In total, I was in 16 observatories. I am crazy for the observatories. I don't know. I love to be in them. My thesis dissertation was good, but was sad, because 4 months before to present my thesis, I fall in a wheelchair. I was diagnosed with MS, multiple sclerosis, and I got paralyzed completely, all my body. And then for my thesis dissertation, I was in a wheelchair, as you can see here, and it was hard, it was difficult also. I was afraid, I was ashamed. I was to invite my friends, you know, of master and PhD. I was afraid to invite them because I feel like, oh no, what they will tell me, and the bullying, what happened, I will be, it was very difficult for me. And then I directly only invite my roommate, the girlfriend of my roommate, other friend that was my roommate in master, basically all of them roomies of master or PhD, and my mom, my director, Angeles, and then really it was very difficult for me. Then, of course, it changed my life a lot, because finally I was in the shoes of the people with problems with mobility. You know, I never imagined that it happens. Then after my PhD, I did a small postdoc at my family home to receive rehabilitation. Then I got PI for one ALMA project, and then I dedicate my time to study one starburst using ALMA. This is the most prolific and most important observatory in the world. And then I was focusing search more prebiotics. My motivation for my postdoc, because this is one important thing, you know, for my postdoc, I was working directly with, I was associated with the Autónoma of Madrid for a couple of months, but the researcher that sent me the money stay without more money. And then she told me, I'm sorry, I cannot send me more. I don't have more. And then I had only 2 months payment, and then I continue alone. And then my motivation, after found my first prebiotic molecule, I decided to continue searching for more prebiotics. And then also hawking, that I love hawking. I grow, I don't know, with Carl Sagan. I grow with Stephen Hawking and with Julieta Fierro. So, you know, and then Stephen Hawking predicted less than a decade ago that the planet will be uninhabitable by humans in 100 years. So I am looking for a new home for human civilization. How? Well, basically checking the conditions in every close place. Because of course, we cannot go to Alpha Centauri, for example. Okay, so a planet or moon close of us. Then for my research, you know, this thing that say publish or perish. So I was present with this. I felt sick. I felt with pain in 2015, 2016, but I should survive. So I was pressed with a lot of pressure, and then I published one paper about what I did in the past, a multi-frequency study of one blaster. And then I continue with other, well, I continue with the results of my PhD thesis. It was in a meeting. And later, I was teaching during 2017 until 2018. I was focused more in teaching. Because of course, my salary was for teaching, not for research. Then I got hired in the College of the New Mexico State University in summer 2017. I published my master thesis work on archive in 2018. Because again, you say, publish or perish? Oh my God, again. And then of course I was worried. Then I continue now with teaching and outreach activities during 2019 and 2020. I published one paper in Nature Astronomy about what activity that I did for outreach, 100 of hours of astronomy at the Mexican northern border. Then my idea was, what happened? Okay, because a lot of people don't know the astronomers that work in the north of Mexico. You know, all the people know the astronomers that work in the center of Mexico, the Mexico country, I mean. But not much people know the astronomers that work in the north. So my objective was to present the astronomers of the north so the people can invite the astronomers of the north, not the astronomers of the south, because they have people close, but they didn't know. So my objective was to create an event and present the astronomers, the closest astronomers, the friend astronomer. Then also it was an hybrid event, you know. So it was an important paper because I propose not only a face-to-face activity, I propose an hybrid, because a lot of people like me work or study from home. You know, until now I use a K. Until now I need staying home a lot of time. Since pandemic began, I have been working from home. So thinking in that people, I work in the hybrid events. So in this event, we have talks, workshops, and observations. for everyone. It was open to everyone, but my objective was to reach every corner of the country, every corner of the border, you know. Then in 2019, I returned to research, but of course my philosophy changed. I say, okay, you want that I publish? Okay, but you need pay for me. You need pay my publication because I don't have money to publish. My job pay to teach. My job don't pay the publications. So if I want to publish, I want to search the way to do that. So I say, okay, I can present my work in scientific meetings, and then at the same time, I can publish something. Yeah, sometimes it's not peer review, but they check your work and they say, okay, you need to fix this part. You need to change this paragraph. You need to, this is a peer review. However, I don't know why it's not considered peer review. But at this point, I say, no matter, because I don't receive my salary for publish. So in this point, I decided that the machine needs to do the work for me after my MS relapses because I was sick. I was worse every time. So thinking in that, I proposed a topic, very important. It was study prebiotic molecules with ALMA, but using artificial intelligence. Because I say, I will transfer all my knowledge to the machine. And the machine will help me to do the job. So if something happened to me, if I need to be in bed, then the machine will work. Then the machine will do everything or part, because you need to check. You need to check if it is doing the correct, if it is not running, you know. And then the past year, I was trying to work a little bit with a team, with friends. And then we got accepted one paper in a peer review journal in the Mexican Astronomy Journal. And we published it next month. It was accepted. And then, yes, it has been a hard way to work. Also, I was focused in the past in best practice for outreach because I love to do outreach. Since I was in bachelor, I participate in talks, I participate in observations. I was co-host for a radio program. I participate in everything that you propose to me. I say yes for everything. Yes. And then I present some activities, some proposals in a meeting for the IAU. And then it was published in 2020. Then I was working toward teaching best practice. I won the Star of Excellence Award in 2020 for all the STEM, science, technology, and engineering in all my circle in my college. Over men's from people from all the world, because we have people in my department, we have people from all the world, you know, from Europe, from other continents working all together, from China, from, you know, and then I won this award, you know, and then I said, when the dean told me, I need your a small summary of your life because you won our award. What? I won what? For what? Because you're teaching. You have a great teaching. Oh, of course I was teaching in everyone, you know, because my experience, you know, and then thanks for my experience, thanks that I lose my movement 4 months, I am better teacher. Incredible but true. Then they said in this, I was working toward best labs, best activities for the students, and we published with other two teachers. We published one paper past year, real data for astronomy class in college and university. We created our activities, and then other paper, engagement of college students using real observatories. Because you need to engage the people, you need to engage the students. Then, just like Amelia said, I am ambassador, okay, to do outreach ambassador for the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. How happened it? Well, I am here in US, and then I began to study aerospace technology in 2020 because I say I want to go to the space. Now I know how that points in the sky works, but now I want to go there. I want to collaborate. I want to be part of the next mission to the moon, to Mars. I want to be part of the next base on the moon, from the gateway, you know, and then I begin to study again in my free times, aerospace technology. In that place, in that studies, I met one teacher from NASA, and you know, he said, "Okay, Spark, what happened? Do you want to be ambassador for JPL?" Yes, of course. And then he proposed me, and I won the position. This is a voluntary, but however, you need to participate. You need to send, and then they evaluate if you are good or not to be the ambassador. And then I won my contract with Caltech to be ambassador for the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. So for me, it was something huge, you know, because since I was a teenager, I had a poster of NASA in my wall, a poster of JPL in my wall. So, and I said, one day I will be working for them. One day I will. And then when I was elected as ambassador, I was happy, and I say, yes, I did it. Of course, I was happy. And then here is the link for my profile in NASA. And then this is my Facebook public profile. I accept everyone, okay? So if you want to be in contact with me, just come to Facebook and I will accept you. I publish there events that I organize, news, and sometimes other things. Part of my outreach for the Jet Propulsion Laboratory and NASA is this kind of activities. I was elected for NASA Goddard to help to them in the outreach for the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. And then it was a NASA James Webb Space Telescope exhibition at the Science Museum. And also, just like Amelia said, I am mentor at the US-Mexico Leaders Network. So what I do here, well, basically, what I do here is that the coordinators of the program write me and say, hey, Yoli, we have one student that wants to study something related with space, with astronomy. Can you accept to do the mentor? Yes, of course. They are high school students, all of them. So I receive students, not by my home, everything is virtual. And then I have to define where they can study, what they can do, how can they obtain it, how can get scholarships, supports, all the activities for them. So another point, I don't know, Amelia, continue with this or yes, it's okay? Yes, I think.
Yeah, yes, sorry.
Okay.
The buttons were not in the place.
Perfect,
Yes,
perfect. Then one of the questions that I received is about if I feel discrimination in astronomy. My answer is yes, a lot. I was 1 year after my diagnosis of MS, when I returned to Mexico, I was 1 year without medication for lack of money in 2016. Then I got declared permanent disabled without the possibility to climb stairs again. Why? Because I sent all my information to a lot of people that hired for postdoc or others. No one hired me because I couldn't go, basically, because no one wanted that I work from home. I was in rehabilitation. I was unable to go physically, but I had all the knowledge and all the energy to do, but all the people say no. So I was with all the medication and I lost all the possibility to return to my normal life. Then as I told you, I am defined as a woman, married with a man, but support to everyone. I have non-binary family and friends. Also, some of them are non-binary and astronomers, and they work a lot. They are great, you know. Sometimes they can be your best friends. And then I note that not exist bathrooms for non-binary people, not enough respect for this collective LGBTQ community. In Mexico, not exist the culture or the trainings about this. No, I have a lot of friends that say, hey, to everyone, to someone that is, I don't know, they say gay to everyone, they say, you know, they don't have any respect because it not exists the education and the culture for this kind of collectives. I learned a lot of this here in US because in my university, we have a mandatory training every year about this, mandatory training, and you need to pass the test about this. And then I got education in US to respect more, much more, because I didn't receive it in Mexico. I didn't receive it in Spain. I didn't receive it in Germany, in any place. Also, I note that not exists bathroom and access for disabled people in observatoriums and planetariums. I cannot go there. I want to observe, but they say to go to the control room, you need clean stairs. And I say, okay, but if I can't, I'm sorry, we don't have installations to do that. God. Then what happened? Well, remote, no, because some observatories don't accept remote. You know, so it's very difficult for me. Then other thing that I note is don't respect the unconsidered for poor people. They, in an astronomy, ask fees for papers, fees for face-to-face meetings. Astronomy meetings, sometimes I feel like it is like the Toby club, you know, friends club. Because sometimes you pay to be friends. You pay to be groups of friends. Then other question that you sent me is barriers for women in astronomy. I note that the faculty and staff of university, observatory, research center are more like populated by men and lack of women. The small and unseen print letters on astronomy and space science job advertisements say, no women with children, no people with chronic illness, no people from third world countries. For example, NASA, ESA, ISO, INTA, okay? They only accept people from their countries. They say, we are open to everyone. We don't discriminate, but they don't accept. Okay. And then also I note that the papers and accepted observation have a bias inclined to men. Also, the same editors and referees are inclined to be men. Then, the strategy is to overcome them. For me, the solution is equity. Equity in everything and every activity. In universities, observatories, research centers, you can hire 50% men and 50% women for faculty staff and researchers. For the papers accepted, the first author must be 50% woman, 50% men. The accepted observations, first authors, 50% woman, 50% men. Editors and referee the same. Also for accepted student the same, 50% woman, 50% men. And also all the meetings and workshops in hybrid format. It was great during the pandemic, but in the last months, a lot of meetings was announced and they say, oh, we will have a face-to-face activity. And then I wrote and then I asked, do you have any virtual? No, we don't, sorry. Okay, but what happened with the virtual? What happened with the inclusion? Nothing. They don't have any activity. Then, how can others, special in position of powers and economical north, contribute to change infrastructure change? Well, for me, outreach is fundamental activity. And unfortunately, this is an activity most of the time unpaid or very little paid, at least in the countries that I have been. Then I will propose investing in good salaries for outreach, training to minimize fairness and discrimination, adequate facilities in all the astronomical and space science facilities to avoid discrimination. And in an ideal dream for me is that all the countries in the world invest 5% of the gross domestic product in science. Then, I almost finished, on the importance of gender equity. Why is it important to have more women in astronomy? I was thinking a lot in this question. And then, for me, it is to avoid the bias inclined to men, to respect the maternity. I met one woman astronomer here in my college some years ago, and she told me, I got a PhD in astronomy, but when I was in my PhD, I got a baby. Then I finished my PhD and I was looking for a job, but no one gave me the opportunity because I had a baby. So she studied for chemistry again and changed all the activities to chemistry. And she told me, astronomy is not for women with kids, you know? And I almost cried. I feel something like, no, come on, please, but I can't pay to her. You know, we lost her. Then, to respect the rights of women, because we are multi-channel, we can work in parallel in a lot of things. To extend the understanding of the sky, to better understand the working of the universe. Because we are the ones who do scientific work in times of war. Because we have more pain tolerance, okay? We can support more the pain, we can work. Because we are more persevering, okay? And because we also pay taxes and vote. So we have the right to have a job. Tips and message for future astronomers. Well, be persevering, never take your finger off the line, hold on your goals. Study hard from Monday to Saturday at least. Don't let you be defeated by bullying and those who do the bullying to you. Be bilingual at least. Never stop learning. Do many certification as teacher or as a student. Postgraduate studies abroad so you can learn a lot of things more. Leaving aside mistreatment between college, regardless of sex, like sex discrimination, place of origin, color discrimination, because collaboration and teamwork is required without leaving anyone out. Live and let live. We are in the same world. And how to address pipeline issues and retention, including professional possibilities outside the academy. Even if you have a PhD, there are many things that you can do, not just research. Because when we are studying for astronomy, we only know the research, but it's not the only thing that we can do. We can work for the industry, we can teach classes, we can do outreach, we can work for a planetarium, we can work in a museum, we can work for a space agency, we can work for the government. Also, teach all the possibilities of work during the preparation. No one told me that I can work in other things different than research. Then when I didn't find a job in research, I was very sad. And I say, I was prepared to research. Now, what will be my future? And then after, I learned that I can teach, that I can do outreach and a lot of activities. So it's very important to teach to the future astronomers what they can do. What is a professional place that they can be? Leave the place for future generation in the case for astronomers that already need retire. Sometimes astronomers stay there until they die. So please, say only the time, I don't know, the 13 years that the astronomy department required, or I don't know. In all institutions, I think, they have a time. And they say, you work 20 years to work 30 years and you can retire. Then retire on time, please. Because we are a lot of young astronomers looking for a job. A lot. Then leave the place for future generation, and then please equity in jobs, 50% men, 50% women. Okay. And that's it for me. Here are my links, my contacts. Thank you, Amelia.
Thank you very much, Yoli. It's been really a very inspiring account of your experience as a professional astronomer, and I really do admire your determination to go forward in spite of all the troubles and all the barriers that you have met. So thank you very much for sharing them with us today. So let's now check the questions from our audience. We have a first question by Saeko Hayashi, and she's asking, how can we have people not confined in the traditional binary definition into those positions of power in the research field? Having women is only the beginning.
Yes, of course. When I say women, I was thinking for non-binary people. And then, yes, I think that maybe we can say, because when I proposed this thing in a workshop for ALMA, they told me that sometimes astronomers don't specify if they are men or women or something like that. So they don't have the possibility to do the separation. But I think that in all the activities, we need to include a question. How do you define? How do you define? And then if they say non-binary, okay, then I think that we can have equity. I have a tiered range. The tiered part for men, tiered part for non-binary, tiered part for women. Then I think this is a way to include to everyone. And then I think it is how we can include, and I agree, of course, we need to include it.
Yeah, so related to this, Susana Filipecki Martins is asking, why do you think universities don't implement gender quotas?
Implementing, I don't know, because I think that they change their administration, they change the ideas probably. I don't know, I am not sure about that.
Yeah, I guess it's difficult to open to new ways of doing things, and that's one of the reasons.
Because you can change the rector, which you can change the chancellor, you can change the administration, then they don't have the same ideas. They need begin again all the process. Okay. Yeah.
So Kelly Blumenthal is asking, how do we overcome barriers to inclusion in academia while keeping in mind gender fluidity?
How we can you repeat again, sorry?
How do we overcome barriers to inclusion in academia while keeping in mind the gender fluidity? It's somewhat related to what we were talking before, right?
Yeah, yes. Okay. And I think that, I think that we can try to begin to do the trainings to everyone. So if we can train to everyone, we can teach that we need to respect to everyone, and we can include everyone. This is part of the inclusion. This is part of the education. This is part of something that I lack before to be US. So I think this is a mandatory activity that must be in all the astronomy activities, observatories, planetariums, universities, and everything. So I think that if we have that training, we can understand better and we can hire more people in different sectors.
Okay. And Susana is asking again, what can academia do better to help people return to work after medical leaves or even maternity leave? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that they can have, well, for example, in Spain, I think that they have 4 months for maternity. And then in US, I think that's 3 months. But in Mexico, I think that is 3 weeks or something like that. So I think that again, we need more education. If we have more education, and also if we have women in power positions, because it's not the same the man that is the boss, because he never passed for that. He never got the maternity. He never know what is that. Then I think that we need women in power positions. So in that case, they will feel, they will know better the situation. And then that is very important.
Okay, well, I think our time is over. So I want to thank you again very much for your very inspiring words. And I would like to thank also Kelly Blumenthal and Susana Filipecki, who have organized this event today. And I want to thank all those who have been following us in Facebook and YouTube. Thank you very much for your attention. And well, let's keep in touch, and looking forward to the next event of this series of the IAU about Meet the IAU Astronomers.
Thank you so much, Amelia. Thank you so much, Kelly. Thank you so much, IAU. You know, I am here for everything that you need. I have fresh ideas. I have revolutionary ideas, you know, and then I don't know, maybe it's in my blood because my grandfather was a pioneer in Asturias. He established one town in Asturias, Spain. Yes.
Which one?
It was close to Giron. It is Po de Llanes. Po de Llanes. Yeah.
I know it.
Yeah, there is a sculpture in the center of the town dedicated to my grandfather, Gavito, Egidio Gavito. Yeah. And then, and then I think maybe it's part of that. I have a revolutionary ideas. I have new ideas. And then, yes, probably if the governments and people in power take my ideas, we can change this world.
Thank you very much. Thanks to everybody. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.